Welcome back here once again, everyone. So, the Little Mermaid live action thing that Disney decided to do with a race swapped Ariel is still set to come out next year, even though it got pretty much ratioed to hell online. People just ratioed it into the ground because they could see the nonsense with it. You're doing a race swap just to appeal to check some boxes so you could get Oscar nominations and show that, we were all done with this and all of that and we support all of this. It's not working. I've done a video before talking about how all of these live action movies are just terrible. Chris Gore came and said it's some of the worst movies of our time, and he's right. The animated movies were done and they're really good. Leave it at that. No, you have to find a way to just piss all over everything and then somehow act like people are supposed to be happy for it. Anyway, there's an update now. And I shudder to call it an update, but let's just get into this from bounding into comics. Disney's The Little Mermaid's live-action remake director, Rob Marshall, claims we saw everybody and every ethnicity before casting race-swapped Ariel. So already we know he's full of crap. In light of the backlash to Disney's race-swapping of Ariel for their upcoming live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, director Rob Marshall has adamantly denied that there was any sort of agenda behind the casting of Halle Bailey as the traditionally fair-skinned princess. Well, I wasn't expecting him to admit it. I mean, seriously speaking, I really wasn't expecting him to admit it. We could tell that there's an agenda, but he's not going to come out and say, yes, there's an agenda, and yes, Disney told me I had to do this, and yes, it was done in order for this purpose. Of course, there is an agenda. There's always been an agenda. For the longest while now in Hollywood, there have been agendas, but he's not going to come out and literally admit, yes, there is an agenda. I mean, realistically speaking, he had to lie. Marshall, whose previous directorial credits include Chicago, Memoirs of a Geisha, and Mary Poppins Returns, offered his side of the story while speaking with Entertainment Weekly about The Little Mermaid's development. Now, I'm going to tell you off the bat. He's going to put it out there in the same sort of script that all of these people in Hollywood are given. It's going to be, because this is the first time I am reading this here as I'm making this video. I haven't read it before, but I could tell you I've seen so many of it before. It's going to be the same whole, we weren't looking at color. We auditioned people of all races and ethnicity. We just wanted the best person for it. And this actress is the best person for it, and she brings such a fresh thing to it, and she really feels like this person kind of thing. It's the same garbage that you got from the creator of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Where they want to do for the Disney self, and they race swapped one of the main female leads, understand me, who the creator himself described as a white girl with blonde hair and all this. He created this character, race swapped her for the upcoming series because Disney told him to, and then came out attacking the fans because they weren't happy for that, and he basically gave the same thing. It's for they weren't looking at race, was looking at somebody who would properly be able to have the energy and spirit of the character. It's the same thing that they always do. Let's get into it and see. That the director first broached the subject of Ariel's race after being asked by outlet reporter Nick Romano how he felt seeing the numerous social media posts featuring young black kids expressing excitement at seeing the role played by a black woman rather than a white one. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, I'm not going to say that there may be social media posts about this thing. I haven't seen any. I'm just saying it's possible that they are out there, but I haven't seen it. But the one that I have seen that is most famous was the one with this little black girl saying that, that's not the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is white. That's the one I saw that was most famous. I know it had a couple people online talking and saying that, oh, why they getting so upset? It's a fictional character and people just race all kind of thing. But I don't know anything about any children online saying that kind of thing. That, like I said, the only one I know about is the one with the little black. You'll say that, that's not the Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid is white. That's the only one that I know for certain. This is what he had to say. I wasn't anticipating that because in a way I felt like we've moved so far past that kind of thing. But then you realize in a way we haven't. It was very moving to me to see how important this kind of casting is for the world. I said it's like they are given this script to say certain things and that's what they say. Because none of this makes any kind of sense. You go on to say that you wasn't anticipating that. We know that they have these shills out there with these stan accounts who the minute that they put out anything, these people get their bots ready and they start putting out things that make it seem like a large number of people are in support of something, even though when these movies and series come out, nobody ever watches them because these people who have hundreds of bots and all other things never actually support anything. And then you turn around and say that, it was very moving to me to see how important this kind of casting is for the world. What world are you living in? Nobody asked for a race-swapped Ariel. You could have made a mermaid movie about a different mermaid, a black mermaid. You could have done that, but no, you keep making these live-action movies. They keep failing miserably. And then you keep acting like, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and everybody else is just a bunch of racist bastards.
Yeah.
However, despite the importance with which he views Bailey's casting as Ariel, the director then attempted to assure Romano and his readers that there was no agenda behind Disney's asking the actress to be a part of the Little Mermaid's world. Well, we know that's a lie, but let's see what he has to say. I'm telling you, it's going to be exactly what I said because these people have a script that they have to read from. We were just looking for the best actor for the role. What did I say? We're just looking for the best actor for the role, period, declared Marshall. The end. We saw everybody and every ethnicity he added, maintaining that the only goal he and his fellow members of the film's production team had during the casting process was to find someone who could act incredibly strong, passionate, beautiful, smart, clever, and deliver such a performance with a great deal of fire and joy. Halle still had that freshness in herself, concluded Marshall. As soon as we cast her, we were really thinking in terms of how we can make this her Ariel. You see, it's the exact same thing. A couple slight different words and things here and there, but it's basically the very same thing that all these directors and all these producers and things have to say whenever it is you see they race swap or sexually swap or do anything to these established characters. The Little Mermaid was written for whatever was written. The person who wrote it wrote the character a certain way. Disney did an animated movie for it. It was done really well. You come out now wanting to do your live action thing, and then you expect people to believe that when you cast this black actress, and I have nothing against Halle Bailey. I'm sure she's a really good actress. I don't know, but I have nothing against her. But I'm just saying, you expect people to believe that when you intentionally cast this black actress, that wasn't going through your mind. You did it for a purpose. You had to check certain boxes. We're certain that's not going to be the only box checked in this. And when you keep doing these things, because this is what you're focusing on. When you're focusing on the most step, what little we saw in the trailer for it didn't look very good at all. People are complaining that the underwater scenes don't look good. It's kind of murky and all this other stuff. Okay, but don't tell us that you did this with A, B, and C in mind, and you only wanted the best actress, and race had nothing to do with it. We know it did. There is an agenda. You can't lie your way out of it, but somehow you expect us to believe that you can. As of writing, Halle's murky, hard to see here CGI heavy debut as Ariel is currently on track to crash into theaters on May 26, 2023. Yeah. Again, as I say, I have nothing against Halle Bailey. She may be a very good actress. I don't know. But don't come out and tell people bold-faced lies that there is no agenda for anything. When you purposely went out of your way to cast a black actress in a predominantly white role, you even gave her red hair, you understand me? For this purpose. Now, Halle Bailey sings really nice and nothing against that, but we know that there is an agenda. But he's not going to come out and admit that there's an agenda. Because they have enough people who will come out to defend this and turn around and say that, myself and others who are clearly seeing this nonsense are a bunch of racist sickos who have a problem with everything. It's lazy behavior. You could have made a unique a unique mermaid movie with a black mermaid if you wanted, but no. Why go through the work of doing that when all you have to do is call something live action, tick some boxes, and figure that's going to be enough? And when the very people who you are pandering for on Twitter never show up to watch it because these people support nothing, have no money, and don't care at all, they would gladly watch the entire industry burn. When they don't show up and the movie fails, you turn around now to blame the fans who tried to warn you to begin with and you wouldn't listen. Your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.